on, let's go outside, let's take a walk in the sun. There are things to learn and things to see, a big wide world for you, your dog, and me. Dog Talk. Hi guys, and welcome to Dog Talk. I'm Pat Becker, and we've got another great show for you today. I'd like to introduce my friend Lynda Savage. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
And Shawna Bawstic. Everybody knows Shawna. She is from the
Mustang Animal Shelter.
Mustang Animal Shelter. I started to say the Midwest Animal Shelter. That would not have been right. Both are good. I really kind of favor the Mustang Animal Shelter, and we are so glad that you are out there and doing such good work. What is the name of this dog?
This is Casey.
Casey.
She's a lab mix.
And she's up for adoption.
She is.
I will tell you, of all the dogs that I've had on this show, I've never seen one more social than she. I mean, she really is. So what kind of family would be good for her? Come here,
an active family with a nice yard.
Yes.
She loves to go running. She loves kids. She loves to catch. She likes to cuddle on the couch too, though. Yeah. It's early in the morning, and she hasn't had a lot of exercise today, so she's
but I can
wired.
See that she would be great with
she's
kids.
Very smart.
Very active. You'd need a family who would give her some kind of interaction, you know. She'd be great for barn hunting, probably Frisbee.
Yes,
I think.
She can't be left out in the backyard to just take care of herself. She wants interaction.
So you had called me and said, you know what, you've been having some artists on, and do I have an artist for you? Lynda, we are so pleased that you have come today. You know, we have been doing a series with artists because I really believe that it is another way to touch people. And this kind of art, you know, really is to the heart. I can see in every one of your pieces there is soul too, and that to me connects. Every artist that I see that you can feel the soul of the animal, they've made their mark. Yes. So each of these is so adorable.
Well, thank you.
They are just precious.
About the soul, that is really what got me interested in painting dogs. And I like to just do basically like a headshot, because I'll kind of look at the photograph or know the dog and hope that I can kind of reach their soul. It just is amazing how all of a sudden it's there on canvas, and I'm surprised.
I agree. I really agree, because that is where the connection is. So many artists do beautiful paintings of the entire dog, and those are great. But the real connection is within the eyes of the dog and the expression on the dog's face. And every dog has an expression.
Yes, and I know most of these dogs up here. I know them. This is my grand dog.
Yes.
Willie Nelson.
I love it. I love the Willie Nelson. Well, you know, when Shawna called and I said, you know what, I have room to do the dog of the week. We'll make Lynda's dogs all the dogs of the week.
Oh, that's great.
But for Shawna, I am going to, and I didn't have room to bring it, but I have a little sack for goodies and for your dogs at home.
Okay.
And I have a $100 gift certificate to A1 Pet Emporium. So we're going to give that to you too. Thank you so much for coming. This has just been great. Folks, you know, you can immortalize your dog this way. And yes, and this dog says she wants to be mine, but I've got 8, can't have one. We've tried to get Janice to take it home. But at any rate, I get distracted here. At any rate, we do appreciate it so much. Thank you, thank you. We're going to take a quick break, folks, and when we come back, Nancy Haddock is here with a surprise for us.
A1 Pet Emporium is Oklahoma's authority on healthy nutrition for dogs and cats. Quality does not have to cost more, and we only have the best. If your pet suffers from allergies, digestive issues, skin infections, or hair loss, it may be the result of their diet. A1 Pet Emporium can help. We offer pet portraits monthly, adorable rescue animals every Saturday from noon to 4, and free dog and cat food samples. Locally owned and operated, we want to be your neighborhood pet store.
By the way, guys, Lynda Savage, before she left, gave me her card, and you can reach her if you want a wonderful portrait of your dog at lindasavageart.com. She is quite good. Nancy Haddock, welcome, for goodness sakes.
Well, thanks for having me this morning.
Well, you know, you came to me and you said, Pat, I have an idea for a project which will include teaching children all of the interactive sports that you do. And of course at Twister Agility you do so many.
Right, I believe it's important to give your dogs a variety of sports.
Mm-hmm. So you took video of it and everything?
Yeah,
And this is an actual teaching it every child has as a teacher for a different sport.
Right.
And so every child, moment by moment, we find out how to do it, which was good for us adults too.
Yes, yes, we can learn also.
Okay, so let's watch that video.
Today we're going to explore an exciting, unique new sport called barn hunt. Today I have with me Brandy Coiner.
Hi, Nancy.
And Jonah Fries.
Hello.
And Jonah, who do you have with you?
Cinch. This is Cinch.
And Cinch is a Jack Russell Terrier,
Yes.
so she's going to be great at barn hunting, isn't she?
Oh yeah.
Good. Brandy, how long have you been involved in barn hunt?
So I've been in barn hunt for a couple years now. The sport was sanctioned in 2012.
Wow.
The first trial was in April of 2013, and since then about 4,000 dogs have earned titles.
4,000 dogs.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, tell me a little bit about it. What is barn hunt all about?
So as you can see, we're standing in a barn here at Twister Agility. We've got straw bales strewn about, and what the dogs do is they enter a secure barn hunt ring searching for this. And inside this tube, we have a friendly little rat named Frida. And so we need straw, we need rats, and we need tubes, and the dogs have about 2.5 minutes to find Miss Frida.
And Frida doesn't look upset. by any
No,
of
actually,
this.
if we do this right, the dogs enjoy it and the rats enjoy it. Rats are very much like little dogs, and so they need socialization and exercise and mental interaction. And so this is a fun thing for them to do too,
Great.
as long as we do it correctly.
Great. And what is involved in the actual training?
So in training, this is an instinct sport, so most of the times the dogs either have it or they don't. In addition to finding a rat, they do need to execute a climb and a tunnel. So those are aspects we train. For the most part, we see if the dog has the instinct, and then we hone their skills, and we develop our skills as handlers, which is
Okay.
what I address in my classes.
Okay, great. And what age? What age for dogs and people?
So dogs can start competing at 6 months of age.
That's early.
For the most part, all breeds, all sizes, all dogs are welcome. There are a few exceptions with disabled dogs. They don't allow blind dogs, but for the most part, any healthy dog over the age of 6 months is allowed. As far as handlers go, barn hunt, unlike a lot of sports, actually does not have a minimum age for handlers.
Okay.
So as long as the child can handle their dog and control it, they're more than welcome to run it at a competition. I've seen everybody from teens like Jonah all the way up to women in their 90s.
Okay, great. And Jonah, you're ready to start learning how to do this, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
And I know Cinch is, because she's over here whining. Let's get started.
So the first step when we're training barn hunt is we introduce the dogs to a caged rat. So because a lot of dogs have never actually hunted an animal, we want to sort of get into their instinct for chasing. So we want them to be able to see actually the rat. So Jonah, why don't you go ahead and bring Cinch over, and we're going to see what she thinks of the caged rat. Jonah, go ahead and encourage Cinch if she's interested at all. Good girl, Cinch. You're gonna get it? You want him? Good girl. Okay, so obviously Cinch has a lot of instinct. I'm not really worried about her being a good barn hunter, so we're gonna take it to the next step. So after doing the cage work with a dog, we then let them watch us put a rat in one of the rat tubes. So I'm gonna call Cinch. So Jonah, just stay there, but let Cinch see what I'm doing. So Cinch is gonna see me put Frida in the rat tube. Where'd it go, Cinch? Where did it go? Then we're gonna make sure that Frida is safe and secure in our tube, and then we're gonna bring Cinch over and let her work the tube just a little bit. And Jonah, this time you can actually let Cinch come on up to the tube, and we wanna encourage her any interest she shows in it. Good girl. Biting is actually a good thing. We don't want to let her get out of control and hurt herself or the rat, but her barking at it or biting the tube, I'm holding it secure so Frida can't get injured. Good girl, Cinch, get it. Good girl. Did you get that rat? Okay, Jonah, so we're ready for the next step now. So Cinch has completed both her caged rat and tubed rat work. Now we're gonna actually introduce the entire course by hiding 3 tubes on course. That's gonna be the tube with Frida, the rat, in it. We have a tube with some bedding that came from Frida's cage, and then we also have a completely empty tube. So I'm gonna hide Frida over here under a little bit of straw so that Cinch can't see it. We can hide tubes on the ground, or we can hide them up high, like on top of the tunnel. And again, every tube is covered with straw so that the dog and handler can't actually see it. Hey, Jonah, you ready to start Cinch on this course? Okay, we're gonna let Cinch give this course a try. Jonah, go ahead and unleash Cinch. When I tell you to go, I want you to set her down, but don't drop her. Just set her on the ground and let her go. Cinch, we hope we'll do a tunnel and a climb and then find the rat. Okay, Jonah, I'm ready when you are.
All right.
Climb. And Jonah, go ahead and follow her around because you want to be able to reward her if she finds the rat. Tell her what a good girl she is. Tell her. Okay. Okay, so Jonah, you're gonna go ahead and grab Cinch. Good girl, Cinch. Jonah's gonna put Cinch on a leash, and just so we don't want her to think the game always ends when she goes on leash, we're gonna go ahead and let her get the rat one more time. Okay, put her on the ground, Jonah. We'll go over here. And let her get the rat. Yeah, go ahead. With the lead on. Good girl. Keep it. Good girl. Okay. Okay, Jonah, that's it. Go ahead and pull her away. Oh. So you can see for dogs that have a lot of instinct, this is a very easy sport to start. Jonah, that was pretty easy, right?
Yeah.
Very good. Good girl, Cinch.
Fantastic, fantastic. Jonah, did you have a good time?
Yes, I did.
So you're going to continue with Barn Hunt?
Oh, yeah.
Excellent. And Cinch obviously loved it, didn't you, sweetheart? Brandy, tell our viewers what they should do if they have a kid and a dog.
So if you have a dog that likes to chase things, Barn Hunt's a really easy sport for your children to get into. Just like any dog sport, Barn Hunt teaches responsibility, compassion for animals, and gives them a sense of responsibility about working with their dog. To get into Barn Hunt, the easiest thing to do is to look up my website, thebarnhuntinglabrador.com, and see when our next class is. Classes are low commitment. It's a single 2-hour event, and you can find out if your dog and child have what it takes to make it in Barn Hunt.
How exciting is that?
It was wonderful. It's just wonderful.
This little guy had such a great, and this Jack Russell did so well. Yeah. I am so pleased. Of course, I love Jacks. So Nancy, if a child wants to learn how to do the barn hunting thing, how do they get in touch with you?
Well, they can contact me at twisteragility.com, or they can contact Brandy Coiner at the Sniffing Labrador.
Oh, fantastic. Thanks so much again.
We
appreciate it. We're going to toss this over to Ted, and he has a wonderful artist named Tim Raglin. He's going to show us his books. I'm excited.
Hey, thanks, Pat. And since we're talking about artists today, I thought I would enter my drawing. Pretty good here. This is a golden retriever looking towards a bone. So, in all seriousness, though, we've had some great artists we're talking about today. Tim Raglin is one of them, and Pat's going to talk to him in just a second, but first I wanted to bring up this one. I love Halloween, and it's coming up. And this is a nice little illustration he's got here. It's a little scary for me, but not for the kids. So you can look at this. He's actually given himself a little artist work here for Pat. And speaking of Pat, I wanted to bring up her book that's coming out. We all know, we see her in OKC Magazine, the Pets OKC Magazine all the time, and we love her articles, but she's got a book coming out. Look for that on shelves soon. And speaking of Pat and Tim Raglin, we're going to toss to them right now. There's a nice little interview.
So, Tim Raglin, how are you?
Well, I'm fine, Pat.
I am so grateful that you came here to this arts festival because I have been a fan of yours for a long time. I see these caricatures, these drawings that you do, and I am astounded. Now, what would you call, every artist has a style, and I guess people have given them names like impressionistic, modernized, expressionistic. What would you call your art?
Well, I would call them highly realistic cartoons because I started off trying to draw people in realistic situations like Frederick Remington and Western pictures. I was having a really hard time doing that. Of course, I was only about 7 years old at the time. So then I saw a thing about how to draw a cartoon. So I started to draw those characters and it came to me much easier. But I did retain the idea of trying to make them as true to life as possible. So that's where the detail comes in.
And you know, the thing that I have noted is that there is a youth about this.
Oh.
There is that in here. I can see a 7-year-old, you know, getting very, very into this kind of thing. And you have retained that. It has energy, it has intrigue, and as I say, all of the faces on all of these characters that you have done are so definitive with what they are saying and what they're doing. And I have been into dogs a long time. I'm a trainer, I do a lot with behavior, and I can read dogs. Obviously, you can too.
Oh yes, and you know, I started off as a kid. You know, everybody thinks they know what their dog's thinking, and you have conversations and stuff like that. So it really is just an extension of that. You know,
And I've noticed that you do a lot of bulldogs. Have you ever had a bulldog?
we did. We had a bulldog named Molly, and she was a wonderful dog. Great personality. Bulldogs are very much like people personalities, I think. Sometimes people say, "Oh, bulldogs are dumb," but it's not true.
No,
they think like people.
Very definitely
They
not.
don't do the doggy things.
They are cautious about giving lip service to things that they are not sure about.
That's right.
They're not yappers.
That's right. That's right.
And most of the time, they're not woofers.
No energy expended unless absolutely necessary.
Exactly. So you paint in what? What
Well,
you?
I don't paint. I use pen and ink, which I believe is an excellent substitute for paint. Okay.
I can see that, and you brought your sign with you. I
There
love
you go.
that. So tell me about what was the first book that you did?
Well, I was assigned a few books when I
Uh-huh.
lived in New York, and they were cowboy books and things like that. So, but the first book I really came up with myself was this Birthday ABC book.
Aha.
Now we have our bulldog character, Uncle Muggsy, on the cover, but he serves as the host of the book. Inside you'll find different animals for each letter of the alphabet.
So was this a book you wrote or a book you
Well, I
illustrated?
conceived of it, and I had a writer friend, Eric Metaxas, who's actually a well-known author
Yes,
now.
Metaxas, yes.
And and it sprang from, I did a lot of greeting cards, and the most popular ones were birthday cards. So I thought, well, why not a whole book of birthday cards?
Absolutely. How great is that? Now this one looks a little ominous.
Yes,
The Curse of the
Cat Uncommon.
Cat
like
Uncommon.
Tutankhamun.
And this
Although-
was Cat Uncommon.
That's right. That's
I
right.
love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So you have done so many things like that. And,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, it brings to mind that you clothe these dogs. They're not just dogs walking around in fur.
No.
They all have clothes on, which adds to their character, obviously. But it looks to me, everyone that I see, that I have seen and I have been enamored with through the times that you have done this, have looked like they were from back, I don't know, 1930s or something?
Oh yes,
40s?
those are my favorite decades, the most stylish decades, I think, at
Yes.
least of modern times.
Yes.
And so that's just another thing that I picked up as a kid. Old movies, that era, black and white, you know, the elegant settings and clothes, and so I've just married the two, the affection for dogs and animals in general, but dogs are the real stars because they just seem so much more expressive than other animals.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I am so excited that you are here to share all of these with me.
There you
And
go.
we thank you so much.
Well, thank
we
you,
appreciate
Pat.
it.
Gosh, it's been great to talk with you.
I appreciate your being here, appreciate you talking with us. You carry on and keep on keeping on with this style.
All right, I'll
We
try.
love it.
All right,
Take
thank
care,
you.
my dear.
Thank you.
Great stuff, Pat. And I've actually worked on my drawing a little more. That's me petting the dog. You see the dog salivating right here for the bone I was talking about. Might publish it, might not. Coming up, we're going to have a trainer's forum with Pat. And now, from the producer's corner, Janice Cranmer.
Okay guys, if you're like me, you go out of town a lot, you're always looking for somebody to take care of your dog when you're gone, and maybe boarding's not an option. Buddy's here with me. Buddy, tell me a little bit about Carey Pet Home Care.
Okay, what we do, we can come to your home. We do several things. We can either do a potty break, or potty break and feed, or potty break and walk, or just a walk. We even do overnights. Anything that makes your dog comfortable at your house, we do. We even do overnight.
Ooh, especially helpful. But if you get caught at work, something happens, you can't get home, and Fido's running loose, I can just give you a call and say, hey, this is where my hide key is. I need you to run in there and take care of some business for me.
You're right. What you'll do, you'll call the office and she'll set up a profile, especially for you. So
Okay.
we'll know what your dog likes, don't likes,
And all that kind of stuff.
anything that pertains to your dog, we'll have on file.
And what areas of Oklahoma City do you guys cover?
We cover all from Norman to North Edmond, Midwest City to Yukon. I even go to Guthrie. I do all the Edmond area.
That's a good gig you got going on
We
there.
love it. And our motto is we don't really take care of dogs. We take care of people's second kids.
There you go. Now you're my kind of guy. So guys, if boarding isn't an option for you, go ahead and give Buddy a call down at Carey Pet and Home Care. They'll give you all taken care of.
How exciting is this? Our Trainers Forum is back. Everybody has questions for you guys, and I throw them at you probably too fast, but we need answers. So today we hope to get some. Annabelle, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you, Pat?
I'm good. Angie?
I'm good, thank you.
Excellent. Rusty?
I'm doing great.
Okay. And everybody knows these trainers. They've been on so many times, and we rely on them because they are experts. Got questions here. The main thing is, and the questions that I get most are multiple dog households. Having one dog, is that okay?
Sure.
Is the dog happy with being one dog?
I think so, if he's kept active.
What do you think?
They are. They really don't particularly care if they have another dog. They're supposed to bond with their humans. If you have multiple dogs, they tend to play with each other, and that's fine, but it's not a necessity.
Yeah. And I think that is true too. And it's been shown that in a multiple dog household, they bond with each other closer probably than they do with the humans. A single dog, that is the pack. But what about adding another dog? Is that difficult?
It can be. It depends on lots of variables. The age of the dog that you're bringing in, how long you've had the dog, how it might react to a new member coming into the family. You have a lot of obstacles that you are not aware of until you try to broach that. You just can't add something else to the mix. There's ways to address it.
So you have a male dog. Do you get another male dog? Do you get a female dog? Which is best?
Depends. I don't know that there's a best. I think you have to take temperament into consideration and whether they're intact, whether they've been neutered, whether they come from.
Of course, we're hoping that they are.
Yes, we are hoping that they are. Well, let's assume that they are. And generally, that case doesn't necessarily make any difference unless you are not the pack leader and the alpha in charge, because your attitude is going to make a huge difference as to whether this is going to work out.
So, do dogs feel a sense of competition for the owner's affections? Annabelle?
I guess they could. It is a question of leadership. It is. I like to spend time alone with each one of my dogs, and not just always all of us together.
What about taking them to bring them closer? I have always thought it would be good to take them in a place that was not their area, so that they do something together. They experience something together, right?
Right. It's a lot of fun.
So let me ask you another question that they had. Oh, okay. So if you've got an older dog, do you get a puppy?
You can. You just have to be aware of the different ages, and the puppy is typically going to be more full of energy and more want to play and do this, and the older dog may not be very receptive to that.
So how do you handle that then?
As Annabelle said, you have to spend separate time. You also have to spend combined time, but if that older dog is set in its ways and gets to spend time with the owner and the pack leader, and now it has to share, just like having a sibling, there are some challenges.
There are some challenges.
There are definitely
some exactly.
hurdles.
So I was going to talk about another question called lateralization. Now, what does lateralization mean, Rusty?
It's really, we talked about it earlier, it's about your dog's ability to turn left or right, use its left brain, right brain, like we are dominant right-handed or left-handed. It's the same thing with the dog, and it's their ability to naturally turn in different directions. And it has an impact on your training and what you're asking them to do.
As sports, I would affect. I imagine it doesn't affect you if it's just going to be a companion dog, am I right?
It does not necessarily. The only thing that I do find is that sometimes your dogs that are right-brained are a little more inventive,
more active,
and they can present a challenge depending on what you try to train them for.
Exactly. So, should you consider with the personality of a dog, it's not going to affect him, lateralization. So I know Morris Animal Foundation and Harvard University tell me that to heck with it. If it's a companion dog, it's a companion dog. Be happy with it. If you're in dog sports, then it's something you have to consider. We thank you so much, guys. It has just been great. So if you have a question for us, go on Facebook or get our website and ask a question to these guys. They'll answer you. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. As usual, right on track. Right on track. And we'll be right back.
A1 Pet Emporium is Oklahoma's authority on healthy nutrition for dogs and cats. Quality does not have to cost more, and we only have the best. If your pet suffers from allergies, digestive issues, skin infections, or hair loss, it may be the result of their diet. A1 Pet Emporium can help. We offer pet portraits monthly, adorable rescue animals every Saturday from noon to 4, and free dog and cat food samples. Locally owned and operated, we want to be your neighborhood pet store.
I am so excited. Kelly and Eric White are with us today. Rally around the pits. I'm ready for another one. When does it happen?
It is Sunday, October 11th.
October the 11th, and it's going to be the cyclists, the guys with the motorcycles.
Yep, we're all going to be out there on bikes again, as usual. We've got 3 bands this year.
Yes.
We've got the same blues band that's been with us since the beginning. Mud
How
Flat
excellent
Nichols.
is that?
And then we've got Cobra Jab and Turbo Wizard coming out to play with us as
Well, there you go. And your dog is whining. He's ready to go too, I see.
He is stoked. Anytime we talk about the rally, he starts getting excited.
Well, I'm excited about it too. And so that happens, tell us again when?
It is Sunday, October 11th.
October the 11th. That is so wonderful. Well, we're going to be out there. We're going to cover it. I am excited to see everybody. We covered it last year, and it was excellent.
It was so much fun.
So folks, definitely come out. Where is it going to be?
Iron Nation Harley Davidson in Edmond, Oklahoma.
There you go. We'll be there. Guys, it's been great. Thank you so much. We had a super show today. Kelly and Eric, we'll see you later.
Thank
and
you
what's
so
this
much.
pup's name?
This is Lemmy. He's
Lemmy.
our rally mascot.
He is wonderful. We'll see you later.
Dogs. We're talking about dogs. Talking about big dogs, talking about little dogs, oh yeah. Chasing the ball, chasing the cat, digging hole, thing like that. Dogs, talking about dogs. Laughing dogs, sad dogs, happy dogs, mad dogs. Dogs, just talking about dogs. Lost and alone, running the street, checking the garbage, looking to eat. Out there sad and on their own, the law will get them if they got no home. Dogs, talking about dogs. Dogs, we're talking about dogs. You say they were angels sent from above, then a year or 2 later you fell out of love. You dumped them, man, and kicked them out. Now what the heck was that about? Dogs, we're talking about dogs. Dogs, them poor little dogs. Talking about big dogs, talking about a little dog, oh yeah. Chasing the ball, chasing the cat, digging the hole, things like that. Dogs, we're talking about dogs. Laughing dogs, sad dogs, happy dogs, mad dogs. Dogs, just talking about dogs.